You know when God stopped being first, not the exact date, but you remember the season. When He became the one you returned to after everything else failed, instead of the one you went to before anything else started. And something in you is asking if it is too late to go back. It is not. But before you go back, you need to know what actually changes when God becomes first again. Because it is not what most people expect. And if you expect the wrong things, you will walk away when you should be staying. Maybe it happened gradually. God was first in the morning. Then you got busy and He moved to the afternoon. Then the afternoon got full and He moved to Sunday. And even Sunday became the place where you showed up with your mind already somewhere else. Or maybe it was not gradual. Maybe there was a season when a hard thing happened and you handled it without Him because you did not have time to stop. And you got through it. And then weeks passed, and now you know the door's open, but something about going back feels heavy. Because you have been here before. You recommitted. You rededicated. You made the promise that this time would be different. And then life happened again. And you ended up in the same place. So part of you is asking, what is actually the point? What changes when I put God first if everything else in my life looks exactly the same? That is the right question. And the answer is not what you have been told. Here is the question underneath all of it. You have had seasons when God was first before, and the hard things still came. The relationship did not heal. The finances did not turn around. The prodigal in your life came home and then left again. The diagnosis did not change. So when someone says, put God first and things will change, something in you resists. Because you tried that, and you do not want to make the same trade again only to end up in the same place. If that is the hesitation underneath your return, hear this. You are not wrong that things did not go the way you prayed, but you may have been looking at the wrong things to measure what changed. Here is what the title does not say. It does not say 5 things that get easier when God becomes first. It does not say 5 problems that finally resolve. It does not say 5 prayers that get answered the way you needed them to. What it says is this: when God becomes first again, 5 things change. But they change on the inside. And the inside is where everything else actually starts. A person carrying anxiety from a God-first posture is a different kind of carrier than someone holding the same weight from a place where God has been crowded out. The circumstances may look the same from the outside. The person inside those circumstances is not. That difference is what we are going to look at. And it starts the moment you turn around. Jesus said this in the middle of a crowd of people who were worried about the same things we worry about. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Seek first. Not seek eventually. Not seek when everything else has been tried. First, and notice what He promises. All these things will be given to you as well. In context, Jesus had just been talking about food, clothing, the basics of a life. He was not promising prosperity, success, or a life without difficulty. He was promising that the God who clothes the fields and feeds the birds will sustain the person who puts Him first. The promise is provision, not prosperity. And it begins with, seek first. In Luke 15, Jesus tells the story of a son who put himself first, lost everything, and eventually made his way back. The son took his inheritance early, spent it, and ended up in a field feeding pigs, hungry enough to envy what the animals ate. And then Luke records the turning point. When he came to his senses, he rehearsed his speech the whole way home. "Father, I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants." He had a plan for his return. Earn a reduced status, start from the bottom, prove something. But his father saw him when he was still a long way off, and he ran. Not walked, ran. And before the son could finish the speech he had spent the whole road rehearsing, the father called for 5 things: the best robe, a ring for his finger, sandals for his feet, the fattened calf, and a feast. Because as the father said, "This son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The son had planned to enter as a servant. The father gave him back everything before the apology was done. Those 5 things are not just a story. They are a picture of what changes the moment you put God first again. Not someday, at the moment of the return itself. So what are the 5 things? They are already in the story. Let us name them one by one. The first thing, you get direction back. The father did not wait for the son to arrive. He ran toward him, which means the moment the son turned around, there was already something moving toward him to orient him. When God is not first, decisions happen in a fog of competing priorities. Everything feels urgent and nothing feels settled. But when God is first again, something becomes clear. Not the whole road, the next step, the next right thing, aligned with what God values. You do not need to see the whole map, you just need the direction. And when God is first, the direction becomes clear even when the road does not. The second thing, you get identity back. The father gave the son the best robe, not a servant's garment, a declaration, "You are still my son." When God is not first, you become defined by your drift, your failure, your absence. You become what you have been doing instead of who you are. But when God is first again, identity resets, not to a perfect version of you, to the true version, the one He named before any of the mistakes that have been following you around. You are not who you left as, you are who He has always said you are. And that changes what you are willing to believe about yourself. The third thing, you get peace back. In that culture, a ring was a seal. It meant belonging, security, authority. When God is not first, peace is always conditional. It depends on whether the situation resolves, whether the answer comes, whether things go the way you planned. But when God is first again, peace becomes something different. It is the peace of knowing you belong to someone whose grip does not loosen when your performance does. That is the ring. The seal that says, "Whatever happens today, you are His." The fourth thing, you get freedom back. In that culture, servants went barefoot, sons wore sandals. When the father called for sandals, he was canceling the son's plan to enter as a hired hand. You are not a servant here. You are a son. When God is not first, you live like you are on probation, working to earn back what you let go, waiting to deserve the grace you were always going to be given. But when God is first again, you stop auditioning. You are already in. And the freedom that comes from knowing that is unlike anything circumstances alone can offer. The fifth thing, you get joy back. Not happiness, joy. The father did not sit the son down for a quiet conversation about what went wrong. He threw a feast. When God is not first, life is heavy with the weight of your own management. But when God is first again, something lightens. Not because the hard things left, because you are no longer the last person in line carrying them. Joy is what becomes possible when the weight is redistributed. And the father's first response to the son's return was not correction. It was celebration. Maybe the reason you stopped putting God first was not rebellion. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe you got tired of asking for things that did not seem to change, and you started filling the space with other things, not because you stopped believing, but because you did not know how to keep going back when the door seemed closed. And if that is where you have been, hear this. The father in the story did not stand at the end of the road with a list of corrections. He ran toward the son who had not yet finished the apology, toward the son who still smelled like the pig pen, toward the son who had already spent everything. He ran. And what changed for the son the moment he turned around was not a better version of himself. It was a different direction. That is all a return requires. Direction, identity, peace, freedom, joy. None of them are waiting for your circumstances to change. All of them are available the moment you turn around. So let us do that now. Father, I come back to you, not because I have it together, not because I earned the right to approach, because you ran toward me while I was still on the road, and I am here. I admit what has been happening. I let other things become first, not all at once, gradually, and then one day I realized you had moved from the morning to the afternoon to the back of my mind. I told myself it was a season, but it has been a direction. And tonight, I want to change the direction. I give you what has been sitting in the place where you belong. The worry that became my first response instead of prayer. The outcomes I keep monitoring before I've even brought them to you. The people I keep trying to manage on my own instead of releasing to your hands. Tell him now. Say it by name. What has been sitting in the space that belongs to him? Give it a name. He is listening. I give you that. Not to take it away from me, to let me hold it from a posture of trust instead of control. Lord, lead my next step, not the whole plan, not a 5-year map, just the next step, the one I have been afraid to take because I was not sure you were still leading. You are. Lead me. Give back what has drifted, the direction I lost when other things crowded you out, the identity I forgot when I started believing what my failures said about me instead of what you say. Let your peace, the kind not built on whether things resolve, settle into what has been most anxious. Let me live like someone who is already in, not like someone still auditioning for grace that was always going to be given. And let there be joy in this return, not because everything is fixed, because I am back, and you are already celebrating. Lord, lead my next step. I am first going back to you, then I will follow wherever you go from here. In Jesus' name, amen. Before you go, write your next step in the comments, not the whole plan, one step. The thing God has been calling you toward that you have been putting off until you felt more ready. Write it below. And before you leave, pray for one person above your comment. If this helped you come back to putting God first, subscribe and come back. We are all finding our way back together.